Ooh. Welcome everyone to Meet the Polymaker. I am your host, Nikor, also known as Joel. Go by either, anytime, anywhere. So for those that are new to this show, let's start off with what's down below. See that there? See that I am awesome? You're all awesome. And if you have not typed it yet, make sure to type in I am awesome into chat. That is on YouTube and Twitch. Get that entered in. We are going to draw for a chance to win a well, it's a drawing for a spool of filament. So enter for your chance to win. You only get one entry, so get that in there now. And also, if you're new to the show, this show is about a little bit of everything, a little bit of making of all, 3D printing focused, but we can talk about anything that is in the maker realm. We talk about news, we show off prints from our Discord, from the community, and ultimately we of course meet our latest Polymaker. New one every single week. We're going, I think, on 30 weeks strong now. So for those that have been here from the beginning, thank you. For those that have not been, thank you. For those that showed up today for the first time, thank you. So with that said, we just got back from an event. My voice is still slightly recovering, but from 3D Printopia. So that has been, it was a fun time. Got to shake a lot of hands. Didn't kiss any babies, so we're good there, but no sicknesses, just voice and soreness. So for those that were able to make it, I hope you all had a good time. And for those that didn't get to make it, we have something a little special. So with technology, you know, the event was a few days ago, but sometimes we can, you know, go back into the field, into the past, and maybe learn some more about the event. So hang tight here, and we're gonna go back to a previous version of myself with still half a voice. So stay tuned for this video.
Polymaker.
Welcome everyone to 3D Printopia. I am Joel with Polymaker, and we have many things going on. Everything from death racers to dragsters to 3D printed derbies. And of course, you cannot miss the Polymaker booth. We have community prints. We have our brand new Panchroma game. We also have our Fiberon table showing off all of our new material. And also, you cannot forget the scientist game. This is the largest iteration of the game to date. Over 400 scientists in this game. We are at all the other events. If you have not seen us here, we hope to see you soon at the next event. Come see Polymaker. Polymaker Joel out.
Here we are at 3D Printopia. I'm here with Ryan from Offset Maker Lab. Ta-da!
Hello.
Ryan, we're talking about tiny bikes.
Yeah.
This is the big introduction right now. Obviously, we launched this at the Midwest Retro Festival, and now we're here at Was Earth, now it's 3D Printopia. Now we've got a number of different bikes here. We've got the version 3, I think we've got here, version 7, and of course, your fabulous
Fully custom
Polymaker car bike combo. I just wanted to talk a little bit about obviously where we come from. Now these are, the majority is the Michael Badley files.
Yep.
That we can be found on Patreon, of course. Links, of course, can be found in the description. Now, of course, custom versions, though, certainly with this one for the Polymaker bike, what does it take to get into this zone mentally and physically?
I'm not sure, just I don't know where to go with that. Well, you guys started working on the extended frame, and I was trying to make side panels basically for it,
Yep.
so that we could put Polymaker on the side of it. The extended frame, well, that's interesting. How you doing? Hi, we're filming. We're doing a thing.
Sorry.
In trying to make side panels for the extended frame, I noticed that the curvature was kind of like that of a 57 Chevy.
Yep.
And of course, we're in Bel Air, Maryland, so I tried to make the bike look kind of like a 57 Bel Air.
And you've done so well. The component parts on this, of course, are the same. We've
Yep.
got 2 wheels on the back that are powered.
Yep.
Are we running PLA?
Yeah, all of it's PLA.
All Polymaker PLA?
Well, obviously there's the TPU,
Of course.
but Polymaker helped me out with all the filaments. So really, this is obviously way bigger than a Death Racer,
Yep.
but there are a lot of little tiny parts on this. The time invested is printing in this one.
Sure.
You could print this faster, but I think the assembly on this might be faster.
Yeah, I think you might be
I think
right.
it's easier. Inside here we have the battery compartment with all the electronics. There's a custom handlebar that has a switch up top, and I almost dropped it on the floor. I'm sorry, Sam. I am so not good at this stuff. The wheels on the bike go round and round. Most of this was printed on Pruses. The side plates were printed on a rat rig to get that extra length. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't know. I'm so not good at this stuff, and I'm hungover.
Hey, this is a Tripod from Tripod's Garage, and this is my mini bike. This is, I decided to go with the theme of, yellow and black, just like my Death Racer, and some people call it like Caterpillar colors, but it is what it is. I tried to do an alternating color theme on it. It's all PLA with about 25% infill. This thing weighs a lot. So it took about 8.5, 9 spools of filament, not including the TPU. TPU is about a spool and a half. It's a fun build. I would suggest to anyone that's looking to do something fun like this, but I don't know if it's a mini bike or if it's an ADA scooter. I'm trying to figure that one out. I think it's a British thing. Safety is definitely paramount. I just want to emphasize safety. I want to make sure that everyone is aware that safety first, kids. I take this totally seriously.
I'm Scott, I'm Edge of 3D, and I'm actually here as a Polymaker partner at 3D Printopia 2024. And what I do is I get into more of the technical aspects of it. I do materials testing on my own. These are all my machines that I've designed. Polymakers had me bring them in here and take different filaments, print it up, test it, break it, and that's really what I'm here for. Trying to get an idea of what this filament is, how it works best in our use case, and that sort of stuff. And then we'll not forget the 3D Death Racers and Dragsters. I have those as well. I'm the designer of the Dragster, so we're running those. Polymaker's also a huge sponsor. Yeah, Polymaker, Fiberon, great stuff. Check that out. We're doing all kinds of testing on it. There'll be plenty of it to see.
My name is K2 Kevin. I'm here running the Maker Chip table at 3D Printopia. Thanks to Polymaker and Polymaker Filament, we have printed not only a couple thousand of Maker Chips for this show, but have received support from all of these other people in the community. And they're bringing Maker Chips. We're sharing Maker Chips. We have Maker Chips at almost every table at this show now, and I hope it just continues. It's been a great thing.
Hi, my name is Austin, aka Zombie Hedgehog, and I'm with Hedgehog Makes. Today I'm at my booth, sponsored by Polymaker. We are at 3D Printopia, and I have all kinds of cool things here. I got my custom 6-tool tool changer, which is working out fantastic. I printed a ton of these Maker Chips, all with Polymaker filament, and I've had a blast with the Plinko game. Everyone's been loving it. The Flexi Crab was a stove shopper. This is by Flexi Factory. I love this one. Over here I got my custom V0 with RGB and the works. I like to make custom, very pretty printers. There's no point in making a black and white printer when you have all these beautiful colors available, especially from a company like Polymaker with all the Galaxy filaments. Galaxy red is beautiful. I have officially launched, or at least announced, my custom creator spool. So with Polymaker, I partnered with them to make the best Galaxy red color. This is a PLA. It's a nice dark color. It'll be available hopefully by the end of the year. Sign up for notifications on the Polymaker website to know when it goes back in stock. I spent a lot of time developing this, so I'm excited to see what you guys print with it.
So hi, I'm Hendrik. I'm electroplating 3D prints. It's all the stuff you see here. And I have a YouTube channel. It's here. How to do that by yourself at home. I made some stuff. For instance, I electroplated this Polymaker Professor. It looks like me, I guess. I think it's me. So I had to make it. It's copper. It's copper plated, and then nickel on top of it. How to get rid of all the layer lines. For instance, you could use PLA and just sand it. You sand it to make it really smooth, and then you try to electroplate it. And there are some PLAs, like from Polymaker, the COS PLA, that can be sanded really easily. So in the end, you get really shiny results, and that's what I do all day long. As a hobby, I don't sell. See ya.
Polymaker.
Whoa. Click the wrong button. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. For those that weren't able to attend the event, hopefully you guys enjoyed that quick snippet. Huge thanks go out to Sam Prentice and Caleb for putting that video all together and getting it all to me in time for the show. So thank you guys very much. But as you've seen, Polymaker was kind of everywhere, and that's what we like to see. We like to support awesome projects, support awesome people, and just have a good time doing it. You know, our booth isn't about selling filament; it's about interactions, you know, education, if you can learn something or just take something fun away. Our team did a great job, so also huge thanks out to everybody that was involved in our team for booth setup and booth running. That's Nick, Sean, myself, James, Sideline Review, Pete, Shirtle 3D, and Matt, or Computer Medic. So all did a fantastic job. Was a great event. I think an overall success. Learned some things, and we're definitely going to make it bigger and better next time. So next one coming up is Rocky Mountain. For those who are not prepared, you got about, I don't know, 6 months or so. I think about 6 months. Yeah, so start preparing now. If you can start booking your flights or get some cheap flights in, do it now. But with that all said, we're going to move straight into our news and try to keep on track on time. So here we go. First up, we're going to talk about something not necessarily news, but just something that was kind of awesome that I seen going through the news. Is a YouTuber by the name of Jazza has built a huge Hyrule, you know, I want to say a layout, I guess. For those that don't know what Hyrule is, it is a, I don't want to say a city, but a kingdom in the Zelda series or Link series, depending who you want to go by. But he mixed actually 2 maps together. From Link to the Past and the new one, which actually plays Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. He did this on a 2.4 by 2.4 meter foam board. So all the bases foam board, everything else, all the accessories, the castle, the trees, the flowers, everything there is all 3D printed. He actually was using VR he wasn't creating from scratch. He was taking some current models he found online and he wanted to add more detail. And the video, actually, if you search this video for Jazz on YouTube, really cool video. He's doing some of the actual redesigning of the 3D models using VR, which I thought was real cool. Of course, he used resin for the water series or water features. But I mean, it had all the details all the way up to the new Zelda model from the new game. So just a really cool project that I thought I should highlight on news. And hopefully you guys find it cool too. If not, if so, look him up on Jazza on YouTube. Next up, we're going to talk about 3D printed buildings. Who would have thought? So this is going to be actually the first 3D printed hotel. I was trying to find details because when I first saw it, I thought, okay, it's going to be a stacked hotel. This is a campground hotel, so they're going to be individual pieces or individual buildings. But it's going to take over about 60 acres of desert in Texas. Everything huge 3D printed is in Texas. Again, who would have thought? But this is being done by El Cosmico, and they're creating the 3D printed campground hotel. Whole series of words there. They'll also have, of course, pools, features there. They're also going to have permanent homes. Some 4-bedroom homes that are going to be up to $2.29 million. But supposedly also working on affordable housing for locals to be able to move out there. So just thought it was actually really cool. They're using the Icons Vulcan 3D printing system. And then that's for the main base, and then human builders to finish it off. Next up, kind of another project that I wanted to highlight that I thought was really awesome. A rideable AT-AT or AT-AT, depending who you are. This is from the famous movies Star Trek. Anybody? No. Star Wars. But we've seen many 3D printed versions of this. This is the first time I've seen one that is a rideable version. This thing does walk. Each leg is powered by 2 brushed motors with gear heads. All the gears in the body are actually 3D printed. Now some of the structure for the legs and the body are 40-40 extrusions. So kind of still staying in that realm of 3D print world. The walk speed of this thing is 0.037 miles per hour. The video, if you look it up, it is by James Bruton, Bruton. He is on YouTube. Does a lot of crazy prints and builds. So definitely a fun guy to watch. He's big into engineering, sci-fi enthusiast. But everything, like I said, 3D built, put together. The gears are all 3D printed. The chair itself is a standard desk chair, I think from actually one of his sponsors, that he was just able to attach to the frame there. But again, very cool to see him. I think he used a powered desk from the same sponsor to get up on the tall apparatus. and walk around. Like I said, he's able to move it around. It's able to turn. So there's a lot of thought into this, and just a cool thing to see moving. Maybe I think he's in Europe, so maybe if you're in Europe, you'll see it at Smurf, or maybe even Formnext. Who knows? So keep your eyes out. Next up, we're going to talk about an automated A1 Mini bed removal system, or bed replacing system. We've actually featured this on one of the news headlines on a previous show, but there's updates. So this thing is working even more flawlessly than what it was before. And this is pretty much a fully 3D printed system using the bed slinger itself as a method to move and catch the plate, pull it off, put on a new one. Basically, the main modification you're doing is a shoe that you're printing and to put on your build plate. That way it can actually lock it into place accurately, and also to pull it off. This kind of it's a different automation compared to something that just clears the bed. Sometimes what you get there is you have your prints stick to the bed too much and it can't clear them, or you're pushing it with the hot end, which then can move it, bend it, make it all out of calibration. Big word. So this one, like I said, actually focuses on removing the bed, not the print. That way then you can remove the print, put that back into a stack. They did this, I think it's an hour-long video they did. I want to say they did 100 plates. So it's insane what this can go through. Of course, it's going to be a lot slower when you're printing something on the plate, but it definitely works, and hopefully it will be soon available for the public. And last but not least, we're going to look at the world's largest food 3D printing factory. If that disgusts you, look away, because that image is staying here for the rest of this video, or rest of this headline. But this is going to be Revo Foods out of Vienna, and they are set to make 60 tons of faux fillet per month. So what you're seeing in there is a faux fish fillet. It's inspired by salmon. If it tastes like that, I don't know. I would never try it because I can't stand salmon. But they are producing it using a mycoprotein based fillet, and it is actually derived from a fungi derived food using 3D structuring tech. A lot of stuff in there. Still not interested in tasting it. I will try 3D printed steaks all day long. I don't care if it's got soy or whatever in it. But this, I don't know, 3D printed fish. But they actually released the product today in Europe. I think they were 500 locations they were shipping to. So if you're in Europe and you're interested, again, it's going to be Revo Foods, and look for that faux fillet or whatever they label it for the store. So if you're feeling like living on the edge, try it. Let us know. Hopefully you live through it to let us know. But with that said, next up we are going to meet our next maker. So if you guys just want to stay tuned, we're going to be right back after these commercials. Where am I? Where's chat? Nobody's catching me on this. I'm way ahead of myself. Anyway, let's move to print show-offs, shall we? You go to one event and you lose track of everything, how the whole show works. Anyway, here is a print by Turbo. We're going to kind of speed through this. And these are all shared on our discord.polymaker.com server on our show-off prints. You are free to share any of your prints that you make there. We always ask that you share the link to the model also for those that are inspired by what you printed to do something themselves. This is the Skylander Giants Tree Rex. I think I forgot one E, by Lucas Vavra, and that is on Maker World. And this was just a very clean print. He actually posted another print that had all the supports on it, and this came out very, very clean. So he has his support settings dialed in there. Next up is going to be a print by Cryogenic. This is actually going to be probably more of a team that Cryogenic is part of, and this is the robot Into the Deep. This I just kind of want to showcase because we don't see many of the robotics shared through the show-off prints, but we sponsor a ton of teams. So hopefully we're going to get together some community page available soon to kind of showcase what we do sponsor, because I don't think people have an idea of how much we actually sponsor and how much 3D printing does go into these robots. Regardless of them being a lot of metal, there are a lot of components that they use 3D printing for, whether it be prototyping or finished project or product. So just a very cool thing that I hope to see shared more in our show-off prints. Next up, a print by Pertuccio. This is the Space Marine Lego. This is available on NicoIndustries.com, made by Nico Industries. I think you used the Starlight Mars on this, which was a very popular color at the event with our Deadpool mask. So just a very awesome print, very clean. So thank you very much for sharing, Bertuccio. Next up, I got to see this in person. It actually was created and built at 3D Printopia. So Tisket, the community member, actually brought all her parts and purchased one of the Big Q, BQ, or Big Tree Tech kits. And this was all assembled, ready to run at the event. She wasn't able to make the actual races and the death destruction, but thankfully not so, because at least then it would have been torn up. But it turned out very awesome. It's our, no, not ours, it's hers. Her Panchroma creation. She used the Pavo model as her topper, and the treads are kind of what are the kicker here. And the treads are a slight color in PLA or Panchroma maybe, and then clear TBU over, which gave it a rainbow effect to the treads. Just a very creative way of doing this. Feather from our Panchroma, our Pavo Panchroma game is used as the bludger. So just a lot of cool things went into this. It was very colorful, very awesome to see in person. I am going to hate to see it compete in its first ever combat. Hopefully it just misses all those events. And last but not least, we are going to look at a print by Hadron. And this is the SR71 Blackbird by Farron 3D. And this is available on Maker World. I am a super fan of the Blackbird. That actually has been one of my favorite aircrafts since I was a kid. So see this printed. I wish it was flipped around, but it was kind of cool that it's that actually printed angled. Number one, it reduced the layer lines on the stacking, but just gives an overall clean look. And it's always awesome to see when you can orient different prints in different ways to get better results. So that is all of our prints. And now we're going to cut to commercial break, and we will be right back after that to meet our next maker.
Imagine owning some of the best songs about 3D printing this Discord has to offer. Polymaker presents 3D Printing Hits by Silverback and Little D, the best renditions of some of the greatest hits of all time. Hits like Hallelujah, Polly Smooth Criminal, All That She Wants Is Another Printer, Print Away,
There you go, print away.
Still the TD1, All About That Bag, No Stabbies, and Polyman.
It's a file tonight. We're all in the mood to see it extrude, 'cause you've got your printer tuned right.
Reserve your CD today with a special TV offer by going to polymaker.com and paying $39.99. Have your credit card ready. Seriously though, this music was a joke. Go buy some Polymaker.
This is Polymax PLA, the toughest PLA in the world, and today we're gonna put that to the test. I printed this very mechanical model and we're gonna drop it from the 12th floor. You heard me well, the 12th floor. Let's go! Ready for the first drop in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, that's crazy! Not even a scratch! Let's go and check it closer. Not even a single scratch. I dropped it again from the 12th floor and still not a single scratch. Buy your Polymax PLA right now!
Performance may vary depending on usage, individual factors, and external conditions. Individual result may vary, not a guarantee of specific outcome. Consult your professional before use. See website for details and limitations. Use responsibly.
Have you had bad customer service with your filament provider? Have you ever gotten a bad spool and never got a response when you emailed the company? Well, that won't ever happen when you reach out to Polymaker. Some people say that no company cares about you. Wrong, wrong, wrong. If you never got a response after emailing a company that you've worked with in the past, you may be entitled to better customer service. We at Polymaker pride ourselves on good customer service, and we won't ever keep you waiting for a response. Email us now at support@polymaker.com, and we'll get back to you within 1 business day. We'll fight for you.
And welcome back to the show. We are almost on track. So thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoy the commercials. You can always submit your own commercials in our commercial channel at discord.polymaker.com. The rules are in that channel. If you have questions, you can always message me. But always looking for new, fun, creative little videos. They don't have to be high production. Just have fun with it, and 3D printed filament related. So with that said, we are here to meet our next maker. I have had the chance to meet this guy actually several times at events, and always a nice guy. So let's hope he's just as nice on camera. Please welcome in Glendon 3D. Welcome in, Glendon.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How is everyone?
They're always on like a 15-second delay, so we'll assume that they're doing great.
Yeah.
But for those that may not know you or may not have met you at the events or seen you on Twitch, who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Glendon, of course, and I am a enthusiast, I guess you would say, with 3D printing. If you can't tell by the background here, I like
obvious.
to just a little bit, but I enjoy filament. I enjoy printing all different kinds of models, both practical and fun. I like building printers, testing models, you name it, and I'm ready to try it. Not so much a designer yet. I'm working on that, but I'm getting there slowly.
Add it to the repertoire, right?
Right.
So now with 3D printing, obviously you're a big fan of it. How long ago did you get started, and do you remember what your first printer was?
Yeah, let's see. It's probably been going on 4 years now, at least 3, maybe 4. The first printer that I had was a Prusa Mini. I started out with that. I saw Chris Perillo printing on a Saturday morning right after he had first opened up the box and got his first print started, and watched that for about 2 weeks and thought, I really need one of those. Never had the itch before, but once I saw it and had a chance to talk to people in chat and see how well it performed, I thought that I would give it a go myself, and that's how the rabbit hole started.
Now, was there anything that was like specific that you were trying to print or looking to print, or was it kind of just, I want to get it, it's cool tech, I'll figure it out when I get it?
Busts, a lot of busts. That was the first thing, because I'm a fan of movies and pop culture, and that was something that I thought, man, instead of spending $400 to $500 on some of these busts that are made by various companies out there, that I would give it a go myself and see how it would work. And that's where I really started the adventure was with busts.
Now, did you paint them too, or did you just do raw prints and then just kept them as is?
No, I haven't painted any of them. I like them in the filament. Personally, I like to use the marble filaments. Those look really good, or some dark gray, something that shows off the different contours very well. in the print, but for the most part, I don't do any post processing. I've tried on a couple, didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. But again, like anything else, it takes practice, and it's something that I'm going to have to work on if I want to do the painting. But for the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with just the prints.
Now, of course, starting with that mini, and now behind you, I see a couple Vorons.
Yep, I've got a Voron Trident 250, which is the purple and the blue one that you see back there with the black frame. And then I've got a 2.4 350 2.4 350. Those are the two Vorons that I have. And then I have a couple of bamboo printers that you can see as well. I got 2X1 carbons and an A1, which is out of frame, but it's printing over there on the end.
Always printing something. Yeah.
Yep.
They're too easy to not print on. Now with the Vorons though, was that something you got into shortly into it, or was it down the road?
It was quite a bit down the road. I had always been intrigued by a Core XY printer once I got into the hobby and understood the ins and outs of it, and thought, man, that's something that I would really like to give a go, because speed, number one, quality, you can get quality off of any printer though, no matter what, but speed and the mechanics of it really is what drew me into it. And I started looking down the rabbit hole, talked to some friends, Austin Zombie Hedgehog, one of them being, I'm sure everyone knows him. He kind of pushed me in the right direction on what I should look for and what I should do. So I thought I would go big on the first one that I did, and decided to do the 350 2.4 Voron. And I've done a couple modifications to it here and there.
Is there something you ever think about possibly doing a tool change or two?
Yeah, especially after standing around his all weekend long at 3D Printopia and watching his stealth changer work. It's something that I really want to try to do, and hopefully it could be in one of my upcoming projects, maybe.
There you go.
To try to convert that over to a stealth changer if I can.
And it's best to let people like Zombie and everybody else work out all the bugs first.
Yeah, of course.
That way
I'm going to let him use
build.
his for 5 to 6 months, and then say, hey, since you finally got this nailed down the right way and it's working, now you can help me.
There you go. Now, when you were building your Vorons, was there a reason for the color selection, or was it just you were trying to find something that looked aesthetically pleasing?
I like the blue frame, and orange is my favorite color. So on the first one, that's why I went with those two colors. Nothing more than that, really. It's got a nice blue anodized look to it, so it really pops in person. And with that radioactive orange from Fusion Filaments, that's the ABS that I use for it.
All right. And the purple one, just another one, you just want to kind of do something different, or did that have any theme to it?
The difference between, a Voron 2.4 and a Trident, it's the Voron uses a floating gantry with belts, as opposed to 3 lead screws on a Trident. So I wanted to see how well one performed against the other.
Okay.
That was the biggest reason for going that route, and went with the 250 because it's kind of a middle of the road printer in size, and I was going to use it primarily for PLA, so I figured I'd just give that one a shot.
Do you have a favorite between the two, or one that's been kind of the go-to out of them?
Yeah, the 2.4 is my favorite. I think it's because it was my first one, but once you really get it dialed in and do some settings, it really makes some great prints. It rivals the bamboos, honestly, in print quality. Not all the time, because like any other thing, you have to tinker with it and update some clipper settings and whatnot. But the 2.4 out of the Vorons is my favorite one.
That's your go-to? Awesome.
Yeah.
Now with the 3D printing that you do, I know you also do like keyboards and stuff. Have you mixed the two before?
I have. I attempted to mix the two before. I have printed a shell, a case, if you will, for a custom mechanical keyboard, and by keyboard, not musical keyboard. It's a keyboard for typing or gaming with, for some of the people that don't know. But I haven't done keycaps. I've done the casing and done some mods to that. Picked out the switches. It's a little bit of a laborious hobby, a little more so than 3D printing, because it's very tedious and small work. And whenever I say customizing and modding, I'm talking about taking each switch apart, oiling and lubing the springs and the inside of the housings, put them back together. There's a sheet of film that you can put between the two parts. And imagine doing that on a full size, 10 key numpad keyboard. It can be a little daunting.
So it's not just a slap together some components and call it done.
No, definitely some time put into it. And there's some noise dampening that you can do with it, with stuff called kill mats. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's like a sorbothane backed aluminum stick.
And they use like the sound mat,
sound
like
dampening.
Cars?
Yep,
Okay,
it's sound dampening, just like you would use in a stereo or in a floorboard of a car. Yep.
And use that, and see, I never knew that. Use that, and like inside the key itself or underneath
inside the case of the keyboard and the bottom of it, because a lot of the ones that we use, I say we like it's a cult, but
and there's a lot of people that use.
There's a lot
keyboards.
of people that get into it, but a lot of the higher end ones are aluminum cases. And they're just milled out, so they're very heavy, and they have a ring to them, depending on what type of switch and how far it bottoms out. So if you look for that certain sound, or if you want to quieten it down, if it's a little too loud, there's a lot of different things you can do to it.
There you go. Have you ever thought of, we got the Fibron, the PPS CF material is, pretty dense. I was using that as a kind of a casing because it's a very strong filament for sure.
Yeah, I have thought of that. That's one of my items that I'm looking to do here in the future, is find a case that I like. And that's the good thing about having the 350 2.4 is I wouldn't have to slice the model in half, for the keyboard to get it to fit on the build plate. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to trying some of the Fibron, and that would be a great application for it.
I'd be interested in seeing doing the keys, doing the PPS keys, see if it had that ting to it.
Yeah, because it shouldn't, in theory, give you a good, nice dampened sound. But I would just have to give it a try and see how it goes and see what kind of sound profile you go for. Because as silly as it sounds, it's all about the sound and the feel of the keys. That's what the hobby's about.
Clicky, some people don't. Some like to have that tactile feedback.
Yep, exactly.
I'm always bouncing back and forth, but typically I like a little click and a little feedback for sure. Yeah,
I like a little bit of a tactile bump and some click to it. I despise membrane keyboards. I can't do it.
It feels like they're still like they were like pop was still
just
on them.
Mush, and it's disgusting. And people that use them need to rethink their lives.
Need to see a psychiatrist. So now back with the 3D printing stuff. Recently, you did a project that really helped us at 3D Printopia. So you want to tell the audience what did you print and how many did you print?
Well, I've got one here that's about half full. I printed off these 3D printed canisters that you can collect your maker chips for. And I did some for K2 Kevin as well as Polymaker. I did 50 of each and probably should have done about 250 each or more because they were gone in no time.
Oh yeah, ours was going easily in the first, I think, probably couple of hours. I think, and we had them. Yeah, I think we had half of them out on the Panchroma table for people to take. Then we had the box under the table, and we were restocking like almost instantly. As soon as people knew about it, it was like, oh. And then of course, he did them all in our Panchroma color, so they're all orange, blue, red, yellow, so that they're nice, colorful. They had our logo on the bottom of them. So it helped tremendously to take the weight off of me and the other team members of having to print it, because K2 printed a ton of maker chips for us. And printed those canisters. So So much thanks to you for that. That was
yeah, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure. Again, all of those were printed in Panchroma, so they were very vibrant and easy on the eyes to look at.
Oh, yeah.
And that was pretty cool. I thought that all of them were printed out of the new line, so it really gave an example of what it can do and what it looks like and how it feels. So yeah, the only downside was there wasn't enough. If we would have had more, it would have been great, because we had people realizing that we were running out at Zombie's booth and at K2's booth, and they were bringing them back after they were emptying them out, and people were trying to reuse them. So
Yeah.
we needed more.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see, especially if this hype carries through to Rocky Mountain. Of course, that's an even larger event.
Right.
Yeah, I might need to give you a call and say, "Hey,
That's
Glenn,
fine.
it's January. Can you start printing now?" So other than that, so of course the busts are kind of something you said you started with and you enjoyed. What do you, other than of course canisters for the events, what do you find yourself printing these days?
Well, I do collect sports cards and stuff on the side. And for my personal use, I've designed, like I said, I'm not a pro designer. I don't pretend to be one, but I have been printing off for myself and some of the local card shops that we have around here some stands to display the cards in full view. This is just a small one that I've printed off here, and you can kind of see what I was going for. This one can display it on both sides. I think this one holds 6, 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom, or maybe 8. I can't remember. But I wanted something, and it wasn't out there, that displayed the entire face of the card. I didn't want half of the card covered up by the front row. So I went a little taller than most stands do, and has a small lip on it to help keep the cards intact or from standing or falling down rather. And it just displays them all at one time. And the shops around here really like it, because it's a good way on their shelves to display some cards that they don't want everybody getting their hands on, that's back behind the counters and stuff. So I've gone through a lot of those. I really enjoy Pete Shirtle, his light boxes. So I've printed out several of those for friends and family members alike. Those are always a hit because he does a great job with those. He makes it so easy for you.
Absolutely.
Whenever you get
Christmas gifts this year.
Just perfect. So shout out to you, Pete. But yeah, I really enjoyed the light boxes, face down prints, sports logos, different things like that. That's a lot of what I'm into right now.
Do you find yourself printing a lot more for other people now rather than yourself, or kind of a mix?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of requests the more that it goes on, especially from my daughter. She's a cheerleader and she wanted earrings. So naturally I went to Pez Liz on earrings and was like, what do I do for earrings? So I just learned how to pull in the PNG file and change it to an STL or something that's readable in Tinkercad, or on Maker World, for example. You can use the keychain generator that's in there, and that works pretty well for what I tried to do. There was a little issues here and there, but I think that was my sizing issues that I ran into. I was trying to make them too small and there wasn't enough squish, but after 3 or 4 different
yesterday.
Yeah.
I did my daughter had requested earrings for her teachers. That were
really?
Our school logo, which is just like an like a block letter NK. And so I ended up, which luckily we had a really good image of it, and I just converted it in 3D Builder and modified it from there. But yeah, I probably should have looked on Maker World first.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that until someone recommended it to me, and it works pretty flawless. There's some tools built in there to where you can choose double-sided or single-sided, mirror it or non-mirror it.
It's just amazing the tools that we have now that are out there. Like, with Maker World now,
trying to make it super simple
multiple
for everyone.
Oh yeah, just jump in and get into it, and maybe not a lightbox creator god like Pete, but we can all learn.
We can all try to be, though.
Oh yeah, we can all strive. But other than that, which we'll move here shortly to community questions. So if anybody has any questions out there in the community for Glendon, make sure to ask. I see Pezla's hanging around. I'm sure she'll ask some ridiculous question.
I'm sure there will be some kind of ridiculousness come out.
But you guys get those questions now, and I'll catch up with them here in a minute. But I know you've, of course, we've talked a few different things of different projects you're working on. The list. Is there anything really cool that you're working on that's a soon to be complete project, or one that you're looking to start here soon?
There's one that I'm looking to start here pretty soon in the next week or so, hopefully. I'm going to be building a Rook kit from LDO. I'm going to build one of those on stream, as much of it as I can, actually. It's going to be my first attempt to build I was about to say computer, because I do that too, but build a printer on stream. Hopefully it goes well. I don't anticipate too many issues, but we'll see how that goes. That's pretty exciting. I'm glad to get an opportunity to do that. And that's from West 3D. They're helping out.
Awesome. Now, is that something you've had planned for a while, or did you just meet up kind of with them at the event and get it there?
We had talked for about a month prior to the event, so it was something that we were looking at doing. Timing wise, it just didn't work out for the event, and I was not going to try to build one at the event.
Yeah.
So
no, it's way too chaotic to try to get anything
way too chaotic.
accomplished.
But yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and they're sponsoring that build.
Awesome.
And what I'm going to do is it's actually going to go into their showroom in their storefront. So once I get through building it, I'm going to ship it back to them, and they're going to display it in their storefront.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now let's see. I think we got see a couple questions in there. Little John Original asks, "What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow?" I know that reference. I don't know the reference in regard to you, but I know what it's from.
Right. No, I it's over my head on that one.
Let's see here. Is there any? How many Uncrustables were consumed? That's I think an overall question, which unfortunately the Uncrustables delivery guy did not do his job.
Yeah, I'm pretty ticked off about that, because I was promised Uncrustables at this event,
and I was so excited to share the raspberry ones too, and they're brand new.
Yeah, and we got none, so I don't know what happened.
One today.
Well, good for you, Joel. I'm
out
glad
of the freezer
you got to
into
enjoy
the air fryer, and it was just delectable. So thanks for bringing up a sore subject, Joe Lambic.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Let's see. K2 Kevin asked, "Does Glendon like mustard on French fried taters?"
I love mustard on my taters. He didn't think I would do it, so I did it.
There you go. Showed you up there, K2 Kevin. I'll imagine that's where the next thing. Did you know Glendon does voices? It should be in Vegas. So there you go.
Yeah, well, yeah. I need to get my name out there for that.
There you go. Totally ridiculous. Would you ever consider getting a belt printer?
If I had the use case scenario for it, it's probably something that I wouldn't want to have around, because it takes up a little bit of space, and that's at a premium in here right now. I thought I had a lot of space until I moved all this stuff in here, and now I don't. But
you find out quick.
Yeah, if I found the right use case for it, if I was running a farm and needed the same part over and over, that would be one kind of printer that would be good for, or something extremely long. But yeah, it's not out of the question. I would give it a try at some point.
Just depends on the project, right?
Right. Yep.
Let's see here. Joe Lambic asked, which is based off the previous question, African or European for the unladen swallow. CGS Creations asks, what voices can Glendon do? Do you do a handful of impersonations?
Oh man, now you're putting me on the spot. There's a lot. I don't know how many I'm willing to share on the spot.
You're going to be asked. Anything that you bring up, you're going to be asked to do, whether now or later.
But yeah, I mean,
a handful though. So like many.
There's a handful or more than a handful that I can do.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to hit you up at the next event, because I'm gonna have to hear these.
That's fine.
I do a small handful. They're all like the obvious, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Christopher Walken
Yeah.
is my go-to.
I can't do Christopher Walken. I've tried to nail it down, but the way that his
Just the way he
inflection is in his
enunciates
voice,
and-
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I have done it once on stream. That's he had
Because I'm
Kong.
all about that cowbell, and I really need
Needs
some
more
Walken.
cowbell.
There it is.
There it is. There you go. Second time on stream that I've done that. But let's see. Crash Controls asks, any tips for printing text bed prints and setting them up? Printing text bed. Do I understand that? Like doing text, I'm guessing, like face down?
Face down text?
I think that's what he might mean.
Okay.
They might mean.
Yes, I think that's what they're saying.
Yes, okay, yep.
To me, it's all about the first layer. Calibrate. Check your flow ratio for your first layer, because it's all about that squish. You know, you want to make sure that there's no visible layer lines on the first layer if you can. A textured bed helps with that a lot because it can hide any flaws. But that's what I would focus most on, that and speed. Let's not go crazy on the first layer with your speed, but your flow ratio, your Z offset, those are the two biggest things that I would take a look at.
There you go. And then, of course, if you ever need any other help, discord.polymaker.com if you're not already in there, Crash. Always people willing to help in there all the time. And yeah, there's about 1 million super brainy people in there, so you definitely get your answer one way or another.
Yep.
But I think that is all I see. I don't think I missed any. So we're going to go ahead and finish it off with, we always like to do the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And we always start off with a couple of the same ones. First off, what is your favorite color or surface filament? So basically your favorite filament.
My favorite filament is PLA Pro. And
anything
my favorite
specific?
Anything specific about it?
Or no, just a specific, like Galaxy Orange, ABS, or
yeah,
it doesn't have to be Polymaker.
Orange is my favorite color.
I figured
always,
orange, yeah.
Always. If you can't see all the orange behind me on the rack there, if you can't tell, but I do like the PLA Pro orange. Orange is my first go-to on most filaments.
All right, easy enough. Next up, what print are you most proud of?
Probably my first Darth Vader bust that I did on the Mini, that I scaled up on the Prusa Mini. It was too big to fit on the build plate, so I had to slice the head off and make it in a way that wasn't really visible. So that's probably my favorite and most proud moment, because it was like a proud papa at that point. It was something that I really wanted
went together.
And it was in a dark cherry red, which was not black. Obviously you think of Darth Vader, you think all black, but I wanted something different. But that's probably the first one and the one that I'm most proud of.
Now, do you still have it?
Oh yeah, it's in my other room on display.
Awesome. Okay, next up, what is your most coveted album in your collection?
Ooh, that's pretty easy. It's Metallica Ride the Lightning, original press from 1983, I think is when it was. But it's on original vinyl, original pressing. It's my go-to. That was an easy question.
So side question on that is how many albums are in your collection?
Probably close to 400.
Oh, so that one is top notch out of the 400. So yeah,
yeah.
Quick answer.
Yeah. That one's that. And then probably a close second would be Alice in Chains Unplugged.
There you go. And then we talked earlier about the custom keyboards. What is your go-to key type?
My go-to key type is
switch, I guess switch I should have said.
It's a Gatoron. It's called an Oil King. It's its own switch type. It's not really, I mean, it's a cherry clone is what it is, but it's made by Gatoron and it's an Oil King.
There we go. And last but not least, When no one is around, do you play pretend with your collection of Star Wars Black Series figures?
Yes, I do. I have some off screen here ready to be played with as soon as we turn the
Do
cameras
you make the
off.
sounds too?
Yeah, you have to.
And
with
do
the
the
spaceships
voices?
and the lightsabers, and I do the voices. All three. Yes.
I would love to see that on stream sometime.
I'll see what we can do.
Okay, but that is it for all my questions. This I kind of give you the stage here. If there's any socials you want to link, any websites, any projects you want to talk about, this is your time to kind of let the people know.
As far as websites go, just check me out on Twitch. I'm recently started streaming. I took a little bit of time off. I'm ready to get ramped back up after 3D Printopia, so check me out there. And on social media, the only one that I really do is X/Twitter, so you can get me there at Glendon_3D. But that's really it. As far as projects upcoming, take a look at the Rook build that I have coming, and I'm going to be putting that on my Twitch channel.
Hopefully, you said roughly maybe in the next week, if all goes
Yeah,
well.
just gonna figure out what type of filament they want to use on the build since it's going to be displayed. So I'm waiting back on that and see what we're going to do as far as color scheme goes.
There you go. Get started. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Very
hope you
welcome.
had a good time, and I hope
great.
to see you maybe at the next Rep Rap event.
I will be there, hopefully.
There you go. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you later.
You too. Thank you.
And that is it for our show. We do go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. So if you're not already following or liking the channel on YouTube, on Twitch, even on TikTok, do so now. We always try to have somebody new on the show, spice things up. Never know what's going to be presented or shown or done. But thank you all for the support up to this point. Right now, too, if you have not, make sure to type in "I am awesome" into the chat. We're going to get ready to give that spool away here in just a moment. So again, "I am awesome" in the chat. You see a few people doing it, YouTube and Twitch. So make sure to get that in now, because I will draw as soon as I'm done with my rant. But not really a rant. It's to talk about our awesome projects. Always so many, but right now we have Polymaker Figurines, which is led by Antoine Dimensions. And that is a video every 2 days of a new Pokemon, of a new evolution of the first 151. I think he's surpassed 100 now, so he's getting close to the end. But these are multicolored prints. He does one of each character, each evolution. Once he shows the video, that model then becomes available for free on makerworld.com. So make sure to go download it, print it yourself, whether in a solid color or multicolor. It's there for you to use and print however you please. And again, across all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, etc., he's doing fun videos. So make sure to follow that if you're interested in something of that nature. We also have our Polymaker Education, which actually had a booth, which was very, very popular. We were glad to see so many people interested in it. So the Polymaker Education is a project led by Creatrix Brit, where they go into basically printing models that help with learning. So whether it be motor functions or food safety or just general learning, mathematics, just anything across the board. There are a lot of things coming, some cool new kits that are coming. So she's going to be doing the same format once those start posting again. Of anytime a video is posted, the model becomes available for free for download on makerworld.com for Polymaker_education. So again, across all the socials, follow there, like there, comment there. If you have suggestions, throw them out there. Always looking for feedback. Just another awesome project we have going on. And last but not least, we have Pezliz, who runs a Polymaker sponsored show in printing color. That is every Wednesday on twitch.tv/Pezliz. And she just talks about colors. She is what we call the color swap queen. So who better to present different colors in their best use cases and surface finishes and everything of that nature. She always has a large catalog to work from with an ever-growing catalog to work from. So more episodes coming if you're not following her already. Twitch.tv/Pezliz, Pezliz. So with that said, we're going to get ready to give away a spool of filament. So again, for those that have not been here, we are here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now you have time while I look for somebody to raid into. You get the entrance in this way. See, always mirrored. It's so weird. Anyway, let's see who we got here. We got live. Who's a printing? Somebody's got to be a printing. Doesn't always have to be printing. Who's making, I should say. Making. Oh, and I had to see ads so I don't know what people are doing. Oh, there we go. Here's a fun one. So Digital Dragon, which we've rated before. Awesome guy. I didn't get a chance to talk to him nearly as much as I wanted to at the event, but he is actually building a positron. So Ray Digital Dragon. Okay. Make sure that's right. And make sure to get your entry in because I want to draw here shortly. So my timing is not off. Okay. So here we go. Let's see who wins. Can it be a YouTube winner yet? YouTube winner. Come on. Who we got? Dad's RC Workbench from Twitch. You are the winner of a spool of filament. Please contact me at joel.finn, F-I-N-N, at polymaker.com. There you go, Builder's Mark. Thank you very much. Or reach out to me at on Discord. I am Polymaker Joel there, and I will get you set up. Just letting me know that you won on 10-3 on Meet the Polymaker. So with that said, I see now there is a timer that actually does go down that's going to auto raid. So with that said, thank you all for coming to the show. Hope you enjoy what you've seen. Hope to see you back next week. So for those that are here, have a good night, have a good weekend, and have a good week. And we'll catch you next time.